Hey everyone, Britta Albert here. If this is your first time here, I am a transformational life coach, and my goal for this channel is to help you overcome the obstacles that are standing in the way of you living your best and most authentic life. Today, I want to talk about how to finally get over it. Now, if that triggers you, there's good reason for that. We don't simply get over anything. There is no simply get over. And there are ways to heal the healthy way somewhat quickly. It depends on how deep the trauma runs and how recent it has happened. If it's something that is currently happening, you do have to get through it first. If it's something that just recently happened, you need to allow yourself the grace to spend time in a season of a little bit lower energy. And if it's something that happened long enough ago that you've been able to get out of that season of denseness, that season of low energy, that season of sadness or of anger, whatever it is that you needed to feel in that moment, now is the time where you can begin. So I have found myself saying this several times over the last few days to many different people, including a client that I spoke to today. So originally I had a different idea for this video. So today you guys get this. Let me ask you a question. When you think about moving forward in your life and you think about the things that are standing in the way of the perfect life that you have in your mind, what is it that you tell yourself about yourself? What are those things that are standing in your way? Are you telling yourself that you're not smart enough? Are you telling yourself you're not good enough? Are you telling yourself you're never going to have X, Y, and Z? Or you're never going to be X, Y, and Z? Are you telling yourself that you can't do this or that because of your current situation? You can't do this or that because of the family that you were born in. You can't do this or that because of mistakes that you've made in your past. When you think about those things and you tell yourself all that you can't do, all that you can't have, all that you can't be, for all of the reasons that you believe are valid, it's one thing to know in your mind that you're mean to yourself. And it's one thing to know in your mind that you can rationalize and you can say, well, of course I can't be a heart surgeon. I've never been to medical school. Okay. So then what's your next step? Go to medical school. Oh, well, I can't do that because I don't have time and I don't have the money and I don't qualify for student loans and I don't blah, 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 blah. So we enter into the I can't, I don't somewhere. So what do we tell ourselves and why? There's always something that is the I can't, I don't have, I whatever. That's going to stop you from accomplishing the life that you want to have. Now, the root of that is doubt, but beyond that, it's fear. And beyond that, it's guilt. Guilt for so many different things. You can be guilty literally just to be alive. There are things that we're taught about ourselves, that we are sinful, that we are less than, that we are this, that we are that. And I'm not here to challenge the dogma of religions, but I am here to point out that we have literally been told since our first conceptual memories that we are imperfect, that we are less than, that we are bad, that we are inherently evil. What the heck? And we want to be healthy, mentally healthy, fully functioning adults who are capable of raising a generation of loving children who will be the future of the world. And we're telling ourselves that we're evil and that they're evil. And we're teaching them. We're looking at these innocent babies and we're telling them that they're evil. Well, no. We're born with sin. You can't look at a baby and say it's evil. I agree. But yet, we do, because we believe we are. We believe that we have these limitations. We believe that we are less than. But what's the fastest way to heal and get over it? Forgiveness. Now, again, I'm going to bring up religion because that's kind of where this is coming from a lot for me personally. But I also have to remember that if I subscribe to the belief that Jesus came and died for our sins, if I was truly this imperfect being, that I have received forgiveness. So therefore, I have authority and right to forgive myself. I'm not saying that you need this permission, but I'm speaking for those who are weighted down still in that ideology. That no matter which way that you look at it, either religious or non, you do not have to hold yourself to these hateful thoughts of imperfection and guilt. When you think about moving forward in life, what feels like a forward momentum emotion? Is it forgiveness or is it guilt? Which emotion is going to keep you trapped where you are, unable to move forward? Is it forgiveness or is it guilt? It's not a hard question. Obviously, forgiveness is going to allow you to continue on with your life and be who you want to be. Where guilt is going to do nothing and not serve you, and it's going to keep you hostage where you're at in your life right now. So with all of the things that you want to be and maybe aren't in this moment, can you forgive yourself and love yourself as you are? Let me give you an example. I had an anxiety attack earlier today. It was very mild, thankfully, and they're becoming less and less. Now, I want to be at the place where I no longer have anxiety attacks because I am living in peace 24/7. Maybe not happiness, maybe not joy, but peace. I can have peace in every situation. But I'm not there yet. So I can either be frustrated with myself and beat myself up, or I can choose to forgive myself for feeling anxious and let it go. I forgive myself for feeling anxious. I understand that that is part of what is going on with my body. That's my body's physical response to certain things that are happening in my life right now, hormones being part of it. I forgive myself for not having all of the answers. Part of my anxiety comes from fear of the unknown, fear of the future. I forgive myself for not knowing the future. It sounds funny, but when we have things like anxiety, for example, we beat ourselves up a lot about having the anxiety. But what if you can have anxiety and still proceed regardless? Can you be present regardless of anxiety? Can you forgive yourself regardless of what you're feeling right now? Now, do I believe I need to be forgiven for having anxiety? No. But I'll tell you what happens when I say that to myself. A wave of peace comes over me. And it is unlike anything I've experienced before. When I forgive myself, I let go of the guilt that is subconsciously creeping back in and getting a hold of me and my life. When I forgive myself, I break the shackles of fear and guilt. And when I forgive myself and I accept the forgiveness that I'm giving myself, and I realize that the choices that I make, the things that happen, the emotions that I feel, they're not wrong for the information that I had within that moment. If you experience anger, if something happens, and you become angry at another person. The anger in itself is not wrong. You feel that emotion. That emotion is real. And the more you suppress it, because it is not okay in society to lash out and express that emotion of anger, that emotion of rage, that's socially unacceptable, that's not okay, that makes you a bad person. But it's there. So what do you do with it? Well, you have to express it. So with anger in particular, I highly recommend to find a safe place where you can go and you can scream and you can let it out. And you can do medicinal dialogue, and you can talk to the person that offended you, and you can let them know your truth, and you speak it and you get it out. And then you forgive yourself. I forgive myself for being angry, because in that moment, the place that I was in, something triggered me. I understand why I got angry. And I let that emotion out in a safe way. It doesn't hurt other people, but it's still not suffocating who I am. It's speaking my truth. It's not toxic to me anymore. I'm not building up stress hormones, which are going to give me cancer and give me a horrible, miserable death. I am being my most authentic self. I'm being true to myself while also loving and respecting other people. Loving and respecting other people does not mean that you push down whatever it is that you think is not okay about who you are. You forgive yourself. You acknowledge that that is supposed to be there. That is something that was built into your DNA, and there's nothing wrong with it. Not the emotion. And you forgive yourself. And you continue regardless. Can I forgive myself regardless of the fact that I'm feeling angry right now? Yes. Can I feel angry regardless of the fact that I just forgave myself? Yes. When I'm done being angry, can I move forward with where I want to be, regardless if this happens again? Yes. Can I be a good person, regardless of the fact that I feel these emotions? Absolutely. And I think you all would agree with me. How many things do you tell yourself, or does your mind tell you, to be guilty for? There are so many things that we can be guilty for. We can feel guilty for where we live compared to other people in the world. Could feel guilty for the skin tone that we have. We can feel guilty for the amount of money in our bank account. We can feel guilty for, you name it. You can feel guilty for your gender. How does that serve you? How does that serve the world? How does that serve your family? How does that serve your neighbors or your community? How does that serve your friends? How does that serve where you work? It doesn't. So how do you get over it? How do you let go? Put yourself in the mind space. Think about something you feel guilty about. And feel what it feels like to get that pressure on your throat, or that pressure in your chest, or that feeling in the pit of your stomach, where you just feel like you're ashamed. But you can't move forward. You can't do this. You can't do that. You really believe that you can't. And even though your mind might tell you you don't deserve forgiveness, or it's not going to do anything for you, your mind is going to tell you everything it possibly can to keep you from forgiving yourself. But the moment that you do, when you think about it and you think about, does sitting in this place of guilt allow me to move forward? No, I am hostage in a cage. But does forgiving myself and moving forward regardless, does that allow me to go? Yes. It's a breath of fresh air. You may even want to cry. The emotions that it just takes off of your shoulders, this pressure. You do not deserve the pain you're putting yourself through. Somebody needed to hear that tonight. You do not deserve the pain you're putting yourself through. You hear me, brothers and sisters out there. Forgive yourself. And if you have to start small, start small. And then welcome to the rest of your life. I can't wait to see you on the other side. Again, y'all, thank you so much for being here with me this evening. If this is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that way you never miss out on a future video. If this video resonated with you or made you smile or it inspired you or it sparked a fire inside your heart, please help me build this community. I cannot do it without y'all. Share this video or share this channel. If you don't want to post it to your social medias, I'll never ask you to do that. But if you think of somebody in your mind, you can text them the link. You can email them the link. It doesn't have to be public. But I appreciate y'all growing this community with me and growing this amazing family that we have. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time.